Hold on, I'm over here because someone in the chat was just like, "Oh no, I missed out on the pre-order for the Memorial Ultra Caliber Zero," and I'm like, "Ain't no way, ain't no way." So I just refreshed; it's still up, and you know what? Now I got that FOMO, so I'm pre-ordering it right now as we speak.
Okay,
I'm like, nah.
When does it drop? When does it drop? Like next year?
It's like January next year.
Oh, okay.
But still, I'm like, no, pre-order that shit right now. Go. Order being processed. Order being processed.
Did you miss out on the normal caliber?
I didn't want that. I didn't want that shit.
Okay, you wanted the 0 one. You remember you saying that.
Yes, that's the one that I wanted, and I just pre-ordered it, so I'm good.
Welcome to Bad Finances Decisions with Zio.
Okay, yeah. I was like, I literally got gaslit in the chat to just pre-order this right now. So as the intro was going on, I was like, no, click, buy. I'm not missing out. I'm not missing out right now. Oh my god, yes. It's the bankruptcy stream. It's completely like going into financial debt. I did the payment plan though, so it's not so bad.
Yeah, that's what I did for the Gabaro revolver, I believe.
Yeah, it's not going to be so bad. It's just 5 easy payments of $63. So
yeah, mine was 5 easy payments of like $100 US, like $100 Australian.
Yeah, so I'll do that. I mean, I just finished paying off the Next Fives driver anyway, since I was doing the $50 every month, and that finally cleared with this last month. So hey, I'll go in the hole for $63 every month for the next 5 months until I get this thing cleared out. So I'm not so bad on it. So bad on it. Welcome to TokuTonic episode 69. Nice.
Boom, chicka, wow.
I wish I had like sexy time music on here, but I had like zero time to prep stuff. Same thing when it came to like the intro. I wanted to do more. So instead you got Nut and Taro in the background and Sonoy over here on the side about to do some things. So we got it. We got it going on.
Oh, so that's where that screenshot is from.
Yes, it is the screenshot of Taro eating that delicious food and taking off. So yes, how are you this fine morning for you, Ash?
Morning. I'm good. Oh, my throat, give me one moment.
Oh, perfect for the 69th episode.
No, I'm good. I've just been busy with work. I've been watching The Boys season 4. I won't get into it because I'm sure not a lot of people have watched it yet. You're still on season 1, you were telling me off stream. I started watching Dr. Stone again because I was watching that when it was coming out dubbed. So now it's all on Australian Netflix. Because Australian Netflix has a lot of anime on it now for some reason. I don't know why.
I mean, Netflix over here in the States has a lot of anime on there as well. That's how you know anime's become mainstream. It's like everywhere.
But like when I turned on Netflix and I saw Yu Yu Hakusho on there and My Hero and other animes and that, like Death Note's come and gone. And that's probably because of that dog shit movie. But like I've been rewatching Dr. Stone again, which is an anime I liked, and I want to watch it when it ends. Someone said bad ending. Bad ending for Dr. Stone? No. I'm only on like episode 8.
Well, you better prepare yourself, I guess.
I've had worse bad endings for series. Yeah.
Well, that's cool. I didn't do anything besides work this entire week. So, yeah, the usual.
Yeah, I can't get into my work adventures. Not on camera.
Well, I mean, I did just hire somebody for one of my open spots in my job earlier today, but they won't be starting for another week and a half just because it's a Saturday and it takes a week to turn around somebody in terms of new hire paperwork. So I'm still on the grind for like the next couple weeks. So that's going to be fun. Speaking of preparing, how's I've not seen Doctor Who at all. Like not since the new season started. I haven't had the time, and when I have time, I kind of want to do other stuff. I mean, I built that one model kit, and I was looking through my backlog, and I think I picked out the model kit I'm going to build tomorrow. So
Nice. I want to start building model kits because I've got like model kits I got in Japan, and oh my fucking throat. And my YouTube shorts is full of like those gunpla Pokemons with like music that goes along with the clipping,
mm,
and it's such a weird ASMR, but I really like watching it.
nice. Thing is, just because it's like I've been in a very customization kick, and it's probably in the lead up for Gundam Breaker 4. I'm like, I want to build these guys, but I want to paint them at the same time that I'm building them, just so I can have that customizability in there. So yeah. Mark is said that he's apparently going to be coming in, folks. Just so you guys are aware, but apparently his job changed offices, so he's got a longer commute back home. Though he told me that he now understands my pain when it comes to driving, and I'm like, I don't think
You'll
you
never understand me.
You don't know my pain. I just got an oil change last month. Guess what? I already have to get another oil change. That's how much I've driven. So yeah, there's all that. Kind of a bit of a slow news week. However, we do have some new toys. Did pop up like last night. All of a sudden, some new toys, and I'm like, damn, Tokulectables out here price gouging to hell and back. But first, obviously, Ash is not seen Gotchard. He's off the Gotchard train.
I got off it a while ago. They kicked me off. I was too rowdy.
He'll read the cliff notes once it's done and be like, oh, okay, that's what happened.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
I think
on the Boom Boomder side of things.
Sad episode. Fuck that episode. Made me cry.
That episode gets better with the rewatches because you already know what you're gonna expect.
Yeah.
So like the little tender moments definitely do be hitting a lot more as you watch it. And God, that hit me right in the feels. At first, I was just like, man, that's such a fucking bittersweet episode. Yeah. And the more I watch it, I was just like, man, it was so damn emotional. The fact that they managed to solicit that kind of an emotion with just one singular episode with a character that was just introduced for that one episode. I'm just like, that's good. That's some good stuff right there.
Like, we've seen that trope before in like Sentai and Rangers and Rider before with the monster they don't have to be evil. They don't have to be bad. And we get it in this episode and it hits all the feels.
It does. The music cues and the silent moments that they have in there, pretty much the voice acting from the characters, from Joe, from Bunjrio as they're initiating the finisher and all that was just peak. That was good shit right there. So really, really enjoyed that episode, especially since we needed an episode like that leading into Boom Violet showing up this upcoming week. So what's now that we got the preview of Boom Violet and how it looks like he seems to be playing all sides currently, what is what's your headspace regarding this guy?
I'm hoping he doesn't join the team like right away in next week's episode. I hope there's a story arc with him where he is playing both sides and then he finally comes around and joins the team.
You think he's got any proper backstory with Taya? Since looking at what their jobs are, essentially, they're kind of the same thing. They're kind of the same thing. They both kind of deliver goods in a way. But it just seems like he's delivering something to Cannon Board that looks like it could be the Boom Boom Killer Robo equivalent of the Robo Knight Sword.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting thing.
We'll have to wait and see because I've been sort of avoiding the scans and stuff like that about Boom Violet here and there.
The majority of the things that I've just been going based off is just literally the preview because I've not seen much.
Oh, okay, you haven't seen much.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to go in like blind and be surprised with this Six Ranger because we've had some up and down with Jiro. We've had some pretty good Six Rangers recently.
I don't know what you're talking about. Jiro was almost all down. What are you talking about? He's like the worst sixth
I liked
in a good while.
okay, I liked his introduction, and then he had a hard fall off.
Yeah, Jiro was fucking ass. Jiro was like the worst part of Dom Bros. You thought they were cooking with his plot point, but no, they literally just said "fuck you" next. Like when it came to Jiro.
Maybe I forgot about Jiro. I just know that he was kind of disappointing. But
You thought he was gonna have a plot point with Murasame, and then it's just like, wait, Murasa who? Like, who the fuck is this guy too? Like, no one cared.
That's why when he has that one credit scene, Murasame in the Versus movie, it's like, oh yeah, you're a thing. I forgot.
Yep. Let's see here. I mean, he didn't have a haircut. He just slicked his hair back. Jiro never got a haircut. He literally just slicked the hair back. That was it.
Oh
yes, Tsubasa literally is the real six of the Dom Bros crew. Because it's like ain't nobody knew who he was until like very late into the game when it comes to all that. Oh man, but Boom Boomger is still very enjoyable. Still engaging when it comes to it. I mean, I would say that it's very plot light. It still continues to be very plot light as it excels when it comes to its action set pieces, because that is really where Boom Boomger shines. So it's not as plot heavy as something like a King Oger, while not as goofy to the extreme as Down Bros. I would say it's like it's a healthy in between. For what we've had so far, but I can understand why for some folks Boom Boomger might not be a good thing for them. But I'm like, given kind of like how mid God Chart is currently, it's nice to have something. I mean,
no, absolutely.
Because it's like that's the thing. As much as people think that I hate on God Chart, I always say this within the reviews. I'm not saying that the show's bad. I'm just saying it's not interesting. It's just okay. It is mid. It is literally the epitome of mid.
You wish it could be better.
Or that it could be so bad that I could at least hate watch it, but I can't even hate watch it. It literally just gives me nothing to clasp onto. So it's good in terms of that front. Meanwhile, I take back what I said about Outsiders last week. The episode gets worse the more you watch that episode of Outsiders. I had only seen it the one time, and I thought it was okay. And then the more I watched it, the more you start picking apart things. And that episode of Outsiders just became ass. It kind of made the whole purpose of Outsiders meaningless. So yeah, it's like Outsiders. It's stop it, Takahashi. Stop whatever you're doing. Just no. Of course, Ash hasn't seen Outsiders. He doesn't need to. I think.
No, well, to be fair, we've talked about me streaming Toku on Twitch, joining the ranks.
Yes.
And I thought, what if I just get like blackout drunk? Or not blackout drunk. What if I just start drinking and watching as much as Outsiders as I can and see if I can follow along?
I say go for it. As someone that drinks heavily during my Twitch streams, as the internet sure definitely knows, then I would say go for it, my guy. So yeah. I mean, look, I'm about to like commit a mass exodus in the coming weeks, because not starting tomorrow, but the week after, that's when on Saturdays we'll start watching Big Bad Beetleborgs and Power Ranger Samurai. So
yes.
So yeah, I will definitely be in for a ride of the hate train, the super hate train. Big Bad Beetleborg is a show that I actively avoided as a kid because I just couldn't get into it. Even I was just like, I'm too old for this shit, even though I was the same age as the kids on that show at the time. And Samurai, I mean, I missed the boat on that one because I was already a Toku snob by that point in time. And I'd only seen the one episode on that one video that I made on this channel like 2 years back. And that's it. And that's it. That's all I've seen when it comes to Samurai. So I'm not excited for either of them, but the chat had it coming. The chat
Samurai isn't bad. I feel like everyone has like eased up on it with how bad people said it is. I think it's just like vanilla Shinkenger, because you'll probably find out why. Like, it's not as bad as a lot of people say it is. I think it's just all right, because it, like we've had many discussions before, this was many people's Mighty Morphin, like back in the day. Like, this is how they discovered the franchise.
Yeah. I think my biggest issue that is literally from the opening crawl of it, you know.
They scream
Back,
their names.
no, back in ancient Japan,
Right.
samurais, and then we fast forward to modern day. I'm like, ain't none of them Japanese. What? What is going on? It's like it's worse than Tom Cruise's The Last Samurai, even though that was actually based off of a historical person.
Mm-hmm.
While here, we got the Shiba clan, headed up by Jaden out here.
A pasty white boy.
Yep. I'm sure I will die of cringe with a lot of that.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I think his acting, if I remember, it's very forced. The guy who plays Jaden.
Look, after coming off of rewatching all of Shinkenger and seeing the goat Takeru out here, probably one of the greatest modern Reds that we've had.
Yep.
Like, it's going to be hard to beat that.
I mean, I say Jaden's dead as wood, but you haven't seen Troy from Megaforce, so
I've not. Outside of the one episode of the very first episode of Megaforce, that's all I've seen. Yeah. So, I don't know. I might commit to the brain rot afterwards.
You gotta get up to Super Megaforce and see, like, that one scene with Troy's actor where he goes Super Saiyan.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious now. You kind of piqued my interest now.
I can send you the clip if you want to live react to it.
Okay, yeah, send me that shit. I gotta see it. I got to see this now.
Okay.
I'm like, I got to see this. I don't know what you're talking about. So this has piqued my interest.
Yeah, it's about 3 minutes. Okay, I'll send it in the private chat.
Obviously, I won't be able to share the clip, folks, because they be hammering
down. We're not on Twitch, so we can't show it. Yeah.
All right, let me see what we got here. Oh my God, this thumbnail alone.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's see. God, what's with that voice for Robo Knight?
I don't know.
Very, very stale.
Yeah. He gets to rap at one point as well.
I can't take these canned-in robot sound effects as he's moving. Well, at least they've got a nice abandoned warehouse, just like the Japanese toku shows.
Mm-hmm.
God, this acting is terrible.
Yeah.
This is, yeah, this. Oh my God, everybody's acting. This. I'm gonna have to watch this at some point in time now, just because of how bad it is. The wire foo going on as well.
Wait, what timestamp are you on?
I'm currently at 138.
Okay.
Oh. What the fuck? What? He literally fucking fought up. Oh my god. What was that? They hit him with the camera angles and everything. They hit him with the camera. Oh my god. That was indeed a Dragon Ball moment in Megaforce. Wow. Oh. Oh my god. I needed that in my life today. That's peak cringe. That is peak cringe right there.
And you'll get more of that when you react to Megaforce and Super Megaforce on stream.
Oh damn, that is crazy. So if anyone was curious in terms of what I just watched was that clip right there. Go towards the end to see the transformation sequence of Troy going Super Saiyan, and damn, that was
it's
that was some shit. And that came out of nowhere too. I'm like, what just manifested and why? Have I seen Ghost Sager? Yes, actually, since during Toku Rewind on this past Saturday, I showed everybody the Shinkenger versus Ghost Sager movie, and I think Ghost Sager is one of those seasons that people just sleep on. Watching that had some people interested in checking out the series now, which is good because it's one of those shows that's sadly sandwiched between two really good seasons of Sentai, so it gets kind of thrown into obscurity. But Ghost Sager is definitely like it's not a bad season. It's still good. And a lot of people get turned off by Alata, the Red, for the season. Because, I mean, first glimpse at him, he looked like a bitch. But he's a pretty good-ass Red. He's a pretty good Red. And the villains are peak. So it's a really good season. It's a season that I feel a lot of people are sleeping on. But, yeah, definitely watch some Ghost Sager. You got to give Ghost Sager another shot. I know some people have been asking about the Ultraman film, the Ultraman Rising film. I've not checked it out. I've not seen it all. You're muted, Ash.
No, I forgot that was dropping as well. The Ultraman.
I would bet that Mark's seen it, so we can ask him once he pops in. If he ends up popping in, we don't know. He might miss out today entirely, even though he said, "I'll show up."
Like I'll probably watch the Ultraman Netflix thing. I forgot it's even a thing, to be honest, because I see so little promotion of it unless it's on Toku Twitter. But yeah, I'll check it out. See what it's about.
All right, so let me get over here so we can look at some toys that just got announced or re-announced. So let's go here. All right, we're on Toku Collectibles now, as money was just spent prior to
Best waifu in My Hero.
There we go. Full screen there.
Yeah, I didn't know they made a Mirko figure for My Hero. I'm gonna have to cop that.
For 147. I don't know how much that is in Aussie dollars.
Probably too much.
How many Dunkaroos?
But it's the best waifu in My Hero.
I'm still behind on My Hero anyway, so. Back when I was watching, I was still a Mount Lady stan.
Okay.
But yes, Memoria Ultra Caliber Zero is finally coming out, guys. We've been waiting. I've been waiting. And it's coming out January next year. Does have voice lines from Raculus as well as Rainior, and they are releasing the voice memory lines as well in there for extra stuff when it comes to Suzume, as well as I forget the name of Hakabaka Chick, but the chick from the film and the second to last episode of King Oger.
Ah.
But yes, on there as well. But this was the one that I was waiting for. You can still get it because it honestly the pre-orders just went live today for the hefty price tag of $342 or doing the payment plan of $63. So
Nice.
Devonica, yes, that's it. It's sad that I can remember Hakabaka, but I can't remember Devonica. Like, at least Devonica is more of an English name than Hakabaka, but you know. Now, you think we're not gonna get Jeremy's, Kumino Slayer as a memorial?
Maybe it'd be cool to see it. I mean, we still need to get Jiro's memorial thing.
That's the reason why I'm saying that, because everything else that we've gotten when it comes to Memorial Edition has been somewhat of a copy paste of what was there before. The only exception is technically 2 Kaisers.
Yeah.
Because like we got the Gertlinger like twice.
Yeah.
And then we got the Stacy's one, which essentially is just a recolor with a slight mold change. And then just the Dawn Blaster. That's it. And then of course this is a remold of the regular OG Caliber, which already got a Memorial Edition. So of course that was easy to predict that it would be coming. But for the Kumino Slayer, I don't know.
I mean, they might do it. They've been doing blasters more often.
But that makes me think that we might get like the Venom mix as opposed, which isn't even a changer.
Yeah.
But I can see that getting a Memorial Edition before the Kumino Slayer for some odd reason.
Maybe it'll be a double pack or something like that. You get the Venomo Slayer and
yes, they'll pull a Gokaiger change it like weapons, where you got to get 2 of them together for the unholy price of like $700.
Yeah,
someone will buy it. Not me though. Not me. Not for that. But yeah, already I put in my pre-order right before the stream started, so I was like, nope, gotta get mine. So outside of that, we do have the reissue, the version 1.5. Why are pants so damn expensive? Why is it $126 for Boom Boomger track bottoms? Why is this the thing for that price? Seriously, does this look like it's worth $126?
They better be made of really good material for that price.
This looks terrible, especially on this guy. Like, what? Why is this one? Okay, all right. Whoever buys that and brings it to TokuDet, I hope you're ready to get roasted, because ain't nobody gonna be celebrating that fit. And the track jacket looked oversized as well for the guy that's rocking it. I would think more form-fitting.
If they do like a leather track jacket, then yeah, I'd cop that maybe. No, that'd be too expensive because it's leather. But still, not like one that's made of like material like that.
Yeah, I would never rock this in daylight. I say this as a guy that dyes his hair red for like the last 10 years and goes into like broad daylight like this. I would not rock this. So, man, not exactly what I was trying to click on, but it just caught my eye that that's so damn expensive. These were the data cards that I was talking about, that they include some voice lines from Raculus, Suzume, Devonica, and Ingira. But we got the CSM Dark Kabuto Zector 1.5 edition. And I'm like, why not get TAC? No, because I literally got the Kabuto CSM, like the 1.5, like earlier in the year. And okay, I mean, it makes sense. But also, why is it more expensive than the regular Kabuto 1.5? It's that Dark Rider tax. It's like why the Dark Kiva's belt is more expensive than the regular Kiva belt. Like it's crazy. But I'm like, okay, that gives me hope that we'll get the Gattack reissue, because the original CSM line that we had from Kabuto included this. We had Gattack. We
Mhm.
also had the Hopper brothers, so we had Kick and Punch Hopper all in one.
Mhm.
So that gives me hope that probably within the next year or so we'll get both the Gattack 1.5 as well as the Hopper 1.5 CSMs, which those two I definitely got to snatch up. I don't know if I want to get this after getting the Kabuto CSM. Sure, it's nice, but it, there's nothing more. This is literally just a reissue of the original CSM, so there's no additional voice dialogue lines. There's no OST implemented in here. It's
Mhm.
literally a reissue of the belt from like 0809. They did not release a CSM for Sword or Drake back in the day. Same thing for Zabi. None of them got a CSM release. Though, now that they've got the CSG line and things like that, I would hope that they could, now that they're used to making, prop sized weapons, that we could get the whole Kabuto line,
Mhm.
because then we can start talking about proper investment, because that means that they got to have the perfect Zector for all of those people that bought all of the other Zectors, so you can have all Zectors combine. Only way to make it work.
I haven't
Which,
seen Kabuto, but
oh
sounds
my
cool.
yes, it's a power up that comes straight out of nowhere, like right from the ass. Just shows up from out of nowhere.
Is that near the end or
Towards the end, yes. Perfect
the end?
Zector is literally like a sword that all the other Zectors just attach onto. Ain't no real lore context for it. Literally just shows on up. Because Tendo's just that man. And then, of course, out of that episode of Outsiders, we got ourselves the 03 driver unit. Keyword driver unit. It's not the driver. You still need the 01 driver. Which at this point, why don't you own 5, 01 drivers with all the attachments that they made for that damn thing? Where you can get this nice attachment to it, so you too can be rocking the 03 Progrise key.
Mm-hmm.
Which, look, the form grew on me watching the episode, but that episode lost its favor the more I watched that episode. But, this is still fine. This is still fine. It has the voices of Zaya and Arc, or if you went from the subs TV Nihon put out, it's there and Arc. Which
Oh.
I kept confusing me. The first time that I watched the episode, I was confused by there. It's like, the fuck is there? Then I realized that there was Zaya, and I was like, okay, not really a big fan of that, but okay. And then new power up for Gem as well, with the hyper immortal Gashat and the maximum zombie Gashat. So 2
Mm.
attachments for the gamer driver, which the jingle is another Hironobu Kageyama jingle. So it makes
Hey,
me this tempted to get it for more Hironobu Kageyama action. So I'm like, mm, might have to. Might have to. Which the form was all right. Yeah. The form was not that bad. Short-lived form, once again. It seems like we keep getting a form per episode with Outsiders, with no repeat showings of them all. So any toys you'll be pre-ordering up?
not that I know of. Not so far.
You mean you're not getting the Dino Megazord for like the 40th time over here?
No, not that Dino Megazord. I'd have to take out a loan for that one.
It's 700 and why is it 725? Why
I,
is
I,
this $725?
I think it's because it's like high quality. Like it's like a big statue. That's why.
Standing 20 inches tall. Do I have a measuring tape near me? I do not. But that's like It's not that big. I don't think so. Like that's I think slightly bigger than the Down Oni Taijin.
I think. I can't remember how big the Donut Titan was.
While it does not transform, this figure is extremely posable, with movable fingers as well as joints at the arms, elbows, wrists, knees, hips, and head swivel. Optional fixed pose hand parts allow for the Megazord to accentuate all the dynamic poses you'll be doing. LEDs are included in the Megazord's eyes as well as the eyes of the Triceratops and Saber-toothed Tiger. Additional LEDs are included in the shoulders and the back-mounted cannons, the arms, and the head of the Mastodon shield. Yeah, nah. It's superposable, so get this action base from that typically they have for gunplay units.
I mean, I'm fine with my Zap Megazord that's superposable-ish.
I mean, I'm personally just tired of the regular Mighty Morphin Megazord.
Yeah. We were robbed of the Delta Megazord that was meant to come out, and the Tiger Megazord that was meant to come out in the Zap collection.
Just not feeling all that. There was some other stuff. Ooh, them Chun-Li statues though. Damn.
Yeah, careful. I think like you can see some nudity with that picture.
Oh, well, we'll pretend it never happened. Ain't that right, Snow?
No. I think if you click on it, there's like stills of it. Not on the one there, but yeah.
And here's another regular Mighty Morphin Megazord. Why? Why? This one's just as posable as the other one. It's $500 less. Oh, this is a model kit. Yeah. This is a model. Wow. Yeah. Not really feeling that one. Man, look at all this Power Rangers stuff. It's almost like, you know, Power Rangers is alive and kicking, wouldn't you say?
No.
Why not? Why isn't it alive and kicking?
Oh, yeah, we were doing a bit. I don't know.
I mean, I think it's alive and kicking, unless there's like a Netflix sound effect that I don't have on my soundboard that could kick in.
I mean, last time I saw Power Rangers, it was on life support, and we were trying to decide who's going to be the Power of Eternity to make its decision here.
Well, Power Rangers is dead.
Yeah.
Power Rangers is dead. So, after all eyes have been on Netflix to produce this next reboot of Power Rangers with, you know, Netflix people involved, we had our people on there. Apparently, Hasbro and Netflix are no longer working together when it comes to this project. It's gone.
Nope.
It's dead, Jim.
It's dead, Jim, yeah.
So, how are you feeling about it? I know you put out some videos about it.
I mean, it was bound to happen eventually. I mean, we've heard nothing but silence about this for the past 4 years. I know there was the writers and actors strike, and I know there was COVID, and then a lot of other stuff got in the way, but I think this was bound to happen. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if like Entwistle walks away because he's working on like the Karate Kid universe or something. So I don't know. Like, I'm not surprised, and then you find out that I don't know if you got the full details where Netflix, like either Netflix walked away because it was too expensive or something. I can't remember the full details, even though I made videos on it.
The only thing that from what I had heard is that it seems like Hasbro was the one that pulled out of it because they were no longer interested in pursuing that route.
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of like an odd situation that we got going on when it comes to not just Power Rangers, but just Hasbro in general. So perfect for for the 69 stream, we got
Mhm.
ourselves the CEO of Hasbro, Chris Cox, out
Don't
here.
Google his name. Don't Google his name.
Yes, do not Google Chris Cox with safe
Mhm.
search off. I did the mistake of doing that prior to the stream. And yeah, I'm now getting recommended a lot of different things.
Mhm.
So thank you, Google algorithm. So accordingly, the Hasbro CEO, which in case you didn't know, originally when Power Rangers got bought out, there was a different CEO for Hasbro. He had a
Yeah.
whole different vision for, movie franchise, connected universe, that kind of thing going on with all the different Hasbro property and brands. But then he died.
Yeah.
Like, you can't
Unfortunately,
make that
passed
shit
away.
up. Like, literally. And he got replaced with Chris Cox out here. Chris Cox came from Wizards of the Coast. And before that, he worked for Microsoft Game Studios.
Mhm.
So he was involved with things such as Halo and Fable and things like that. So he's been a games guy.
Mhm.
And essentially, from this article that we got, originally it came from Forbes, he says that Hasbro has strayed from its original mission of focusing on the games department, but he says that the future of Hasbro lies in video games.
Video games, yeah.
So literally, I think seeing that Power Rangers video game was a step in the direction of the future of Hasbro now. Is
Yeah.
because when we look at toy sales, and the thing is that's something that gets broken down over here nowadays.
Mhm.
Kids aren't buying toys the way that they used to, because the majority of people that are buying toys are people our age.
Mhm.
So they either make the toys either very accentuated towards adult collectors and adult buyers, or they make them overtly simplistic for younger kids.
Mhm.
There's no middle ground between the toys anymore. And Hasbro has kind of gone with that. And it seems, obviously, we kept mentioning this. I kept mentioning how like the Power Rangers toys kept going on clearance at Walmart and all different kinds of locations and stuff like that. Now we kind of see the thought process that the CEO is having when it comes to Hasbro and the vision to capture that younger audience. And the thing is, kids nowadays, video games are the toys that they
Right.
play. It's all interactive. If it's not like games on their phone, then it's games on their computers or just regular console games and things like that. So the focus Hasbro is doing now, moving forward, seems to be focusing and shifting direction from, you know, television properties like shows, movies, and things like that, and skewing in a more game centric direction. Now, the problem that I have with that is, first of all, Hasbro doesn't really have that big of a booming gaming studios as is.
Mhm.
And if the output that we've gotten from, you know, Power Rangers and like,
Mhm.
the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and things like that are going to be
Yeah.
an indication, it's going to be more retro style video games,
Mhm.
which at the same time, mostly that only appeals to our generation as well.
Yeah.
That's still not targeting the demographic that they're trying to cater to. They're
Mhm.
trying to get that Gen Z, Gen Alpha category on there.
Mhm.
And I don't think they're going to do it that way unless they literally try recreating some kind of Fortnite-esque video game. But if anything, they're too late to the party, because that kind of model, you had to be early in to build
Yep.
up that audience that
Yeah.
would work long term, because we see games as a service fail the second they roll out. Look at Suicide Squad kill the Justice League. Look at
Hells yes.
the current hype train, or rather lack thereof, of PlayStation's Concord. The
Mhm.
the the new IP from the state of play that no one gives a shit about, but it looks like it's another games as a service.
Yep.
So they're kind of late on that game.
Mhm.
So it looks like if there's anything going on with Power Rangers, I'm leaning towards this is going to become a video game franchise now.
Yeah. What I can predict if Hasbro is moving in the direction of video games, I can see them lending their properties to other studios to make different kind of video games. Like I don't know. Can we get something like War of Cybertron for Transformers, like we did back in the day? Or I'm guessing like the more kid friendly products, maybe they'll make something there that's going to be like shovelware for the Switch or something. I can see them doing that. But it was interesting when that Power Rangers video game trailer came up, and I think it said Hasbro. What was it? Hasbro Digital Gaming or something like that. So it looks like
Mhm.
they are going in that direction.
Yeah, that
That was
they've
really
got an
cool.
internal studio, and the thing is, it's
Mhm.
not like Hasbro didn't have gaming studios in the past. They
Yeah.
kind of like killed it off for a little bit, but it looks like they're trying to bring it back, and I guess
Mhm.
that's going to be the focus point. The thing is, it's like obviously from a business decision, it's not looking so good for Hasbro if this is the direction they're trying to go in. Um, and I don't know. It's like they really need to start putting in the muscle work when it comes to doing all that, because the majority of the people that they have kind of like on staff on payroll are more for a toyetic company, not
Mhm.
for an like a gaming studios style company.
Well,
So they're probably going to end up cutting jobs, opening up new positions, and if this is the direction that
mhm.
they're going to be going in 5 years, Hasbro is going to be a completely different company internally than it is now.
Yeah. No, like you said, I can see the board game stuff going away because no one takes out board games anymore here and there. I get the feeling they'll still license out stuff like Monopoly and stuff like that because you see a different Monopoly every time you go into a GameStop or a uh, like any kind of store. I can see that, but I feel like they'll still make Transformer toys and maybe Star Wars toys or uh, Marvel Legend toys if those properties are still doing well for them. I can see that, but I can see Hasbro maybe opening up different divisions
Mhm.
and different studios here and there. Like one company focuses on the toys, one company focuses on the video games, and then you've got also those same people like Emily and that who worked on marketing and the toy brand there. Maybe they can help promote video games. I'm not sure. It looks like Hasbro wants to go in a very interesting direction.
Yeah. Let me see. There's there it is right there. Games are such a big part of Hasbro now, but if someone still calls Hasbro a toy company, does that irk you? And then he's just like, I think we're more of a games company than a toy company, but toys are obviously important to us and a big part of our legacy. Nobody is nobody's really purely toys anymore or pure video games. It's just kind of all mushed into one. I think we are in an industry of play. The center of our company is play. So if that's their focus, it's still like, well, why are several of your toy
Yeah.
licenses going to Playmates?
Hmm.
It's like,
No.
what is Hasbro themselves actually doing then?
Yeah. No. Understandable. And is this the only toy companies that done that? Because I know like the people that own Funko, which I think is owned by a bigger brand within itself, they're putting out a video game this year. So a weird Funko Pop video game that I've seen.
That'd be interesting. I
Yeah,
mean, a lot of people forget that Nintendo started off,
as a
as
toy
trading,
company.
yeah, trading card
No,
company to,
trading card.
yeah, trading card company to, we don't talk about the love hotels, but then games company, well,
Mhm.
toy company, and then games company.
Where does the Love Hotels fall in between in the
Uh,
time?
in the 70s,
Oh, okay.
Yamauchi had this big, massive plan, just nothing but brothels.
How come no one brings that up in the Nintendo history video essays? What the fuck?
I
How are
mean, I
Nintendo?
literally like my college thesis was literally on the history of Nintendo, and that was one that I was like, I have to skirt around this issue. But yes, there was the infamous love hotels that Nintendo tried doing.
That's like when I had. That's like when I was in primary school and I went and I wrote like an essay on like I was like 11 or 12. I had to write like I think it was picking famous person. I picked Walt Disney and I got to the part where he freezed himself and my mom's like, no, you can't include that, Ash.
Oh, but yeah, that's that part of Nintendo lore that people always forget about.
Mhm.
So yeah, the way that Hasbro is looking is definitely going in the games direction, because they keep going
Mhm.
back on in terms of like D&D, and in terms
Mhm.
of trying to revitalize that, but they say that D&D is really more for the Gen Xers. I never got into D&D myself, being a millennial, so that was already like past my generation.
I had one
Uh,
night of D&D with friends. It was pretty fun. I've got my dice here.
I've had some friends growing up that were big on D&D, but I
Mhm.
never was like properly invited to a campaign, and even then, like
Yeah.
I had the time when I was younger. I definitely don't have the time now. So
Yeah, I'm too ADHD for D&D these days.
let's see. Regarding all that, yeah, so they did cut half of their product assortment,
Mhm.
and they're saying it's because customers are getting overwhelmed with product assortment. I don't
Mhm.
know, when you release like 8 different figure lines for Transformers, and
Yeah.
then you release reissues of those same Transformers within the separate toy lines that the Transformers are in,
Mhm.
it could get a little confusing. But then you look at the other, toy lines that Hasbro has, and you're like, where did that go?
Mhm.
It
Uh, Cosmic asking, does anyone remember Battle for the Grid? Yes, I remember. But that was Saban back in. That was like mid Saban, mid Hasbro back in the day. The weird crossover between the two, and that's mostly Enway's fault because Enway went into weird like NNTs and stuff, NFTs and stuff like that. And then a lot of those people who worked on the company left the game, from what I know of. So that's why that game sort of died out. Like they had a plan, and then I guess people moved on and COVID, and yeah.
The game had a weird development cycle in itself anyway, because I remember when it first was announced, you couldn't pre-order it via the regular like
Site,
eShops and
yeah.
stuff like that. You had to go through their specific
Mhm.
website, pre-order it on there, then
Yeah.
they'll give you the download code for you to
Yep.
be able to get it. So it was like the weirdest, shadiest way to get a video game I've ever seen
Mhm.
in modern era.
And then it dropped like a week earlier, and it was like it looked really greasy.
Yeah, I did the pre-order one
Yeah.
myself,
No,
because I
no,
was
I
just
did.
like, you know what, I'm
Mhm.
I'm invested in this. Let me
Mhm.
go ahead. I did the pre-order campaign and all that shit. I got my code
Yeah.
early for the Switch and checked it out, and I was like, this is a game, all right.
I think it dropped early, if I remember correctly, because it was planned to drop around the same time as Mortal Kombat 11.
It did. I remember the day that it dropped because I was in a hotel for work, and
Mhm.
I saw people online were talking about that it dropped, and I was like, oh shit, good thing I got my Switch.
Yeah.
And then
And
I
yeah.
just booted it. Well, I had to download it using shitty hotel Wi-Fi, so it took
Mhm.
ages until I finally got to play it. But then,
Yeah.
handheld mode
Yeah.
already looked like ass. So
Yeah. No. I think they got cold feet because like Mortal Kombat 11 was coming out like a week. They planned to release it, so that's why it launched in the way in the state that it did.
let's see here what anyone else is saying here. Do I remember back in the day when Chex had a free CD-ROMs games? Yes, I do remember
Yeah.
that.
Age of Empires, I would get with my cereals.
Used to have
Or
some really nice stuff, but especially all the free AOL trial discs I used to get back in the day.
nice.
Try out this thing called the internet, guys.
Mhm. I didn't know they did that. I know that they had like Age of Empires for like one of them, and I remember there was like these weird like Dragon Ball Z. There was square discs, like square discs for your PC that somehow fit in there. Not floppy disks, but square CD-ROMs, and they would have like interactive stuff when they were about the characters. So if you got a Gohan disc, you would see like all these pictures of Gohan on there and character bios and stuff like that. um, Yeah, I remember getting like Age of Empires in a box of cereal, the old Spider-Man PS1 game, which I thought would be Raimi's Spider-Man because they put Raimi's Spider-Man on the box of the cereal, but it was that version, like the old PS1 game.
Mm-hmm.
which I want to go back and play.
Yeah, the only thing that I discovered recently was since I have two GameCubes and a black one was gifted to me like when I still worked at Best Buy. I never opened it until like the other day, only to find out that they left this Mario Kart Double Dash bonus disc in there that had a bunch
Nice.
of demos from
Nice.
like the old kiosks and stuff.
Mhm.
So I was like,
Nice.
oh, nice! I can check out the demo of Wind Waker as I stare at my
Nice.
Wind Waker box over there. So
Nice.
I'll just play that demo.
Nice.
So if Power Rangers becomes a video game only franchise, do you fear that it's going to be a retread on old shit? Because
Absolutely.
I'm like, if you're doing a video game, it doesn't cost much to just make new costumes. Just make new costumes, make new Zords, anything like that, because you don't have to worry about making a physical prop or anything like that, since it's literally in the game's universe, the game space itself. You don't have to worry about any of that shit.
No.
You just have to worry about the creative aspect of it all. But once again, you've got plenty of sources from your comics and shit that you could literally put together. We could have a proper like Power Rangers Warriors game. We can have a Power Rangers like action RPG. If they do something that's similar to like say the battle system that they've got going on with Final Fantasy VII Rebirth or with Final Fantasy 15, shit like that, but just with a squad of Rangers, I'd be down with that.
Cool. No, I'd like that.
But that would require effort, time, and once again, this is video games. If they do put the money into creating proper video games, then development time is going to vary anywhere from 4 to 6 years.
Yeah.
Which will take even longer. So once again, if Hasbro is looking to become a very game-centric studio, then that means we're not going to see shit for Power Rangers outside of this first video game, unless they just continue pumping out these SNES remixes of games for another 5-6 years. And that's where it starts becoming a little bit more soul crushing, is that the fruits of labor when it comes to something video games related takes longer than producing a show. As long as as long as they've got a script and the green light on it, then they can crank that shit out in like a year or so. But if it's a video game, there's a lot more that goes into it. Still waiting for Metroid Prime 4 Nintendo. It's been like,
Do you think we'll see it? Do you think we'll see it at this direct?
Oh fuck no, that's a Switch 2 title, my guy. That ain't gonna be. That's not gonna be on the original Switch.
I think we'll see Metroid Prime 2.
Yes, they'll be like, you've been waiting. Samus will show up. Everybody will be like, oh shit, here it is. Is this 4? 2, Prime 2,
and 3, and Hunters.
No, it'll be worse. It'll be like Metroid Prime, Hunters HD.
I never played Hunters. I played the demo a lot that came with my DS back in the day, but I never played Hunters.
Kamen Rider Cosmic Killer with their 10 hundo. Just a regular $10 out here saying, it's almost as if there was a very small group of diehard fans that first saw this the minute Hasbro got their hands on Power Rangers, but were silenced by the shills and fanboys. If only. I mean, the thing is, I wouldn't say that that's what happened initially, because once again, the CEO of Hasbro at the time of the acquisition of Power Rangers was definitely a lot more forthcoming when it came to ideas. Like he definitely seemed very passionate about the brand and vision for what the series could have. But then sadly he died, and that vision went down with him. And then the people that took it over were like, they didn't know what all to do with the franchise. They got stuck with something they didn't know what to work with. Because once again, the CEO at the time had a direction towards entertainment, but entertainment in terms of going into, the big screen with a lot of their properties. While with this new CEO, the direction seems to be going towards the game aspect of things. But, you do what you know. And given that, Chris Cox comes from Microsoft's games division before coming into Hasbro, that's what he knows is video games. So it's clear to see that that's the direction that he wants to take the company, unless, the stocks do so bad for Hasbro that they end up having a change in the board of directors and they vote him out. Because when you start getting into the nitty gritty when it comes to actual companies and the way that they operate, because there's a lot of people online that like talking about how companies work and operate and shit like that, but they don't know the logistics of things, especially when you start getting into shareholders and the investments of things and keeping your shareholders happy with what you're producing. Because if there is no faith from the shareholders, then guess what? There's going to be a changing of the guard. And if they are not liking the news that we're getting from Hasbro this week regarding the direction that they're thinking of going, then guess what? There could be the very real possibility that Chris Cox gets out of the company within the next year or so, and then we'll be back to square one. So right now, we're only discussing based off of what we have from this info.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We got another Cosmic, but it's Cosmic Orchid. The main issue I see is that Bandai, as they most likely have the rights to Sentai only teams, so unless Hasbro has permissions, okay. I mean, you misspelled broke if that's what you're trying to go for, but
Hasbro.
Brock the Rock with Chris Cox.
Don't show those text messages from Hasbro.
Yes, definitely don't need those texts to leak out there.
Yeah.
Well, so the thing is, Hasbro still has the rights to technically the Sentai teams that they have featured within Power Rangers before. Anything afterwards, I think that's where we start getting into the muddy waters of things.
I think it was everything. Now, this is when I talked to Joe back in the day from the Illuminati, so I don't know if this has changed. I don't know if this still has weight to it. But if I remember correctly, he said they had everything up from Go. They could use stuff up from, because this is true, because we saw like other Sentai only teams appear in the comics. We could see anything from up to Go Ranger to maybe Kira Major at the time, or Ryu Soldier, if I remember correctly. Don't quote me on that. It's been years.
I mean, Ryu Soldier makes sense because they already used the suits for Ryu Soldier anyway. Yeah. But Kira Major is literally the jumping off point that we had.
Yeah. And then Sentai only seasons like Kyuranger at the time before we found out about Cosmic Fury and stuff like that. We've seen like people like Raptor, I believe, be in like the trading card games or the deck. And they say, oh, this is this like alien race that has no name, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so I think technically anything that's up to a certain point in the Sentai history, Hasbro still could use. Now, whether or not they will or not varies. And the thing is, I don't know if there's any like Sentai diehards within the Hasbro community for like within the actual company itself that works under the Power Rangers umbrella that would even care to do anything with this. This is why we need to get Ash a job at Hasbro to, work in their Power Rangers division and get them ideas cooking. So,
I think we need all the Power Ranger YouTubers in there. We need like Josh in there. We need me in there. I feel like if I'm in there, if I'm working for Hasbro, it's just going to be like that episode of Always Sunny where like Mac and Charlie are in the mail department and they don't realize they're in the mail department because they're trying to find all the employees, but really they work for the mail department, so they're meant to be sending out the letters to everyone.
Definitely, I just wonder, like, I really want to like know the insights of the company to see if there is like that insight within there, because even then, I know back when they were moving to the Cosmic Fury suits and saying that they were going to step away from the Sentai footage, a lot of the the classic actors. I remember like Catherine Sutherland like saying it's like, yeah, Power Rangers was being held back by using Sentai footage, so this allows for a lot more creative freedom. Now look at y'all. Now look at your franchise. Where are you now?
Did you see? We need Andre from Black Nerd Comedy. Andre would be interesting, like, because he's like the guy that you knew if like Ninja Turtles was actually airing on Nick or.
Oh yeah, and he's been involved with the game for a while. Plus, he's got those connections.
He's built himself up within the past couple of years as a YouTuber because he's like in documentaries now when it comes to Power Rangers or retro stuff, which is really cool to see. Like he's made a name. Like I don't watch his channel all the time. When there's a topic in my algorithm that I like, I'll watch. But he's built himself up a lot since when I first saw him in that like nostalgia chick video. He's come a long way.
I mean, I haven't checked out his stuff recently over the last couple of years, but I remember watching him like it feels like a decade ago when I first found him.
He was, I believe, he was in the Toys That Made Us documentary for Power Rangers.
So let's see here because I think we got another one real quick. Megadon for $5. Realistically, who can help produce live-action Power Rangers? It's what we all want, but I can't think of any company that would dump in the money. Well, not WB. WB right now is hemorrhaging cash, so they're not the ones to do this. Ain't no way Disney's buying it back because Disney's got their own like hell of a time trying to do shit right now. With the direction Cartoon Network is taking now, I don't know. But once again, that is still technically under the WB umbrella.
We'll have to 2010. They don't do live action anymore, I don't think.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's like Cartoon Network is currently in a weird spot where they're discovering that the younger generation doesn't care about cartoons as much as, when we were kids. So Cartoon Network started shifting focus, and now the Adult Swim block that runs Toonami has now extended, and now on Fridays here in the US, they start their Toonami at 5 p.m. the way Toonami used to run on weekdays back when I was a kid. And they're showing like Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon.
From what I've heard, it's like Dragon Ball Kai because good dub, and then Viz dub Sailor Moon because good dub, which that's interesting because I feel like because with like the times have changed, they can show like the uncut versions of those shows in that time slot.
Yeah, which it's like once again, it's just kind of going in with what even Chris Cox is saying here when it comes to the shifting demographics is that everyone wants to try and get the younger Gen Z, like Gen Alpha crowd, but they can't because Gen Z, Gen Alpha is not interested in the stuff that were important to us when we were kids because they were raised solely on technology, while we can remember a time period before technology. So that's why I've got all this plastic behind me.
See, after the stream, I'm going back to my mum's to get my crates with plastic and comics in them and games. My 3DS is at my mum's, so I'm excited to play that.
So the thing is trying to think of another studio that they could essentially work with. It would have to be another streaming service. So
I've got it. The studio who did Bloomhouse can do it. The studio that did Sharknado could do it. See, I'm throwing ideas that no one expects.
You're saying we can have a proper Cocaine Bear Power Rangers squad.
Yeah. Blood and Honeyverse Power Rangers.
Okay.
People keep saying Disney, and I get that. No. Disney era from Power Rangers was good, but it was the writers and the actors that made that season good. Disney was just there to collect the paycheck at the end of the day.
Yeah, so I can't see it going back to Disney. Like, there is no way in hell that Disney's going to get this back.
I'd be shocked if it happens because a lot of people say, haha, you were wrong. But I'd be shocked.
Because right now, the only places that I'm leaning towards would be like Amazon because, they need more content for Prime Video. And it's not like they don't already have like ties to different Toku stuff on there, because remember, in Japan they got Amazons and Black Sun that released over there.
Yeah.
Now the thing is, since they work so closely with Toei on those, I don't know if there's going to be some bad blood if there is like some sort of trying to put in a Power Rangers for Prime. So that could be the hindrance on that aspect. And then the other option is Peacock, because Peacock is essentially owned by the parent company of Nickelodeon, which did have the distribution rights to Power Rangers during, Neo Saban era. So they could be the likely contender, especially since currently Peacock just likes throwing money at shit and just seeing what ends up sticking. And they haven't had really any heavy hitters, but a lot of the things that they've been relying on has been making adult versions of shows that we watched as kids. Once again, it's like the same shit. It's the pattern that keeps repeating itself.
I mean, Ted 2 was a surprising success for Peacock, and I really enjoyed, not Ted 2, Ted TV series. And I really enjoyed that. Like, if you've got a ticket machine, because I don't know if you have Peacock, try and watch it. Like, the Ted series.
Check it out.
The Ted series is actually really freaking good.
Because I did the Peacock trial when iCarly came back, and I was like, "Oh, I want to check out this new iCarly," and I actually like binged the whole thing and enjoyed that first season. And then I was like, "Great, don't have to get it again." And then they came out with season 2, and I was like, "Well, fuck you. Well, I'm not gonna watch it." But
yeah.
And then I heard Good Burger 2 was trash. So
no, I forgot. No, that came and went. Like, I remember that was like
no one cared. No one seemed to have cared after it dropped. And I mean, I could say I've acquired it, but I haven't watched it. Even then, I'm not compelled to watch it, even though I've acquired it. So,
yeah. Aroni's right. Yeah, I'd say the Ted movie is like, I'd say the Ted TV show is better than the movies. Like, I love Ted 1. Like, I remember seeing that, and that was a lot of fun. But the Ted TV series just works really well for some reason. I don't know what about it, but it just works really well.
How about that Sausage Party TV show coming out?
Are they doing that? Okay. When is that dropping?
Next month.
Next month.
Literally, we're a month away.
Crazy old says we should watch it one day. If I'm around in the Discord during reasonable hours before I go to bed or during the day, because I'm at work 5 days a week, maybe on the weekend, maybe do a watch party for the Ted TV series in the Zio Discord.
So yeah, when it comes to getting a Power Rangers live action show produced, I think it is very limited to a streaming service. That's probably why they had to do the Netflix deal to begin with, because honestly, television is kind of dead right now in terms of the actual channels. No one's really watching things on the stations. Hell, a lot of these TV shows get the majority of their clicks and views literally from putting it on YouTube the next day after it airs, or from the streaming services. So it's not going to be a major network.
Yeah, I know, because it's in like Hulu, like Family Guy's like, it's where people watch it on Hulu, like the day after it.
Even though it still airs on regular TV, people are still mostly watching it via streaming services.
That's how I watch it as well, to be honest.
So yeah, it would have to be a streaming service. And if it is, if Netflix out, then you look at the other rival contenders on there. Like I said, Max is probably not going to be interested in it, so we can scratch that one off. While the obvious ones would be either Amazon or Peacock to answer those questions. But it really just depends on what kind of writing staff they can get involved in there. I would say out of the two studios, it's kind of hit or miss, because if it's like an American adaptation or of something for what Amazon's been producing, it's very hit or miss unless it's a purely like Japanese production. But once again, this is Power Rangers, so it's not going to be a Japanese production. So I would say Peacock is probably going to be my bet in the streaming wars for Power Rangers if and when they do it. Now the thing is, since once again, like I mentioned before, Peacock is the parent company of Nickelodeon, and they've been on a trend of bringing back shows from people's youth and aging it up. All I'm saying is Power Ranger Samurai 10 years later.
Oh, please do. Please do.
They pull a 10 years after on all of their like Neo Saban properties. It's like, all right, we'll just bring them back. Okay, we'll bring up Mega Force again. We'll do it. We'll adapt the Gokaiger 10 and just make it a Super Mega Force adaptation. Here it is. We're doing it, guys.
Mersley says Comcast. I was going to say The Wire, where they're ending that like that Mr. Woodchuck show with like Adam Carolla, which is on their streaming service. I don't know if you've heard about that. It's like this weird. It's not a good show because I watched the LS Mark review on it. But yeah, I'd watch Dino Charge 10 years after it as well. I think they can probably get all those castmates together because I think aside from probably one of them, they'd be happy to come back maybe.
And the thing is, I would think that there is money in bringing in, you know, childhood favorites, even if it's not my childhood favorites, but it's someone's childhood favorites.
Yeah.
Just bringing them up to the current day. Because everyone always wonders, where are they now when it comes to like actors that you saw when you were kids?
Those videos do well on YouTube.
They definitely do. And anytime like I see like those ads pop up, it's like, oh, check and see what they're doing now. Well, I'm not going to click on your clickbaity thing, but I'm just going to quickly Google it so I can see for myself. Comcast is the parent company of Universal, NBC, Peacock. Yeah.
Okay.
So it would still be the same thing regardless. Yeah. But Peacock being the streaming service, I would see that as the one doing it. But I would say, yeah, I would have more faith in them doing it than Amazon.
Right.
Amazon just seems like a content machine in some instances. So quality is kind of all over the place when it comes to what they're doing.
Radapox says RPM sequel. We got an RPM sequel in a way. It's called Beast Morphers.
Oh yeah, I did hear there's some crossover with the Venjix virus, right?
Yeah. They wrapped up that 10-year storyline.
So look at that. They can cook.
Have you seen the new Kaku Ninja fits?
I have seen.
Are they okay? Let me check Toku Twitter real quick.
They were shown in the teaser that they had a while ago, but they do have a better picture of it.
I remember there was a cast photo of all of them.
That's essentially it. Okay, but let me I can pull it up now real fast while it's brought in.
Oh, I'm looking at it now. Okay. No. Oh my god, they look pretty cool. It looks like Mortal Kombat vibes as well, especially with
it does.
Ninja Yellow, yeah. They look dope. I like them. It looks so good. How much news dropped when I was sleeping and editing that video? Holy shit.
Well, you see, it's because you wrote about Disney freezing himself. And then little did you know that you froze yourself instead and missed out on all this Toku news.
I was 11. I had no idea what I was getting into.
Getting into the whole cryogenics of it all. That's how Michael Jackson was going to go out. He was just going to go out freezing himself. So, yeah, I mean, anything else we got really going on? I mean, it's really, that was it.
Yeah, not really. It's like, that's the only news apart from toys and...
The biggest thing is just the speculation when it comes to the...
Power Rangers thing.
Yeah, to the future of Power Rangers in general.
Yeah. No comic news for now because comics,
He's dead.
They're ending, but we're getting solicitations next week, so maybe we'll find out what happens with the comics moving forward. So kind of a slow news week right now when it comes to Power Rangers.
Oh, wait, something that I just remembered now because I saw this on the Discord like the other day.
Mhm.
I don't know if this is real or fake or someone's just gaslighting, but apparently that Kamen Rider Gabu logo that we showcased off was a fake.
Wait, really?
So someone on Twitter apparently said that they designed it and they've just been laughing at everybody taking it at face value that it's the real logo. And I'm just like, wait, are they for real right now or what? Like, what?
I mean, it's still on the wiki. I mean, no way. I don't know if it's the real. Like, now I feel gaslit if it's real or not.
That's the thing. It's like so confusing. I don't know what to believe now.
The
Is it
wiki
real or
still
not?
open up, so it must be real.
Well, the thing is, it's just like we've seen how the black and white like copyrights, and the thing is, yeah, the copyright like Twitter account that normally posts them usually like it posted the logo itself. So it's like ain't no way unless it is, and then I'm just like, ah, shit, look at you, clever out here.
It's like when I would get like tricked by a fake parody account on Twitter because like they have like one spelling off or something, or they make it plural. And yeah.
There was another toy thing that got announced, but I don't care about that. Unless you want to talk about some Deno rings.
No. Do they look cool?
They're real rings. Like they just look like regular wedding bands. If someone didn't explicitly tell me that they were from Deno, I would not be like, oh boy, that's Deno.
No, okay, no. I'm not interested in Deno. I know of Deno, but I don't think I'd get into it too much.
Let's see. Wasn't it proven that the account troll of us with? Yeah, I mean, I don't know because I don't go on the.
Yeah, you're not on Twitter anymore.
I don't socialize with social media anymore, guys. So I don't know. I just see what gets popped up on the Discord from time to time, and then go from there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Actually, yeah, I scrolled up to someone else saying that they pulled a reverse troll. Apparently, I don't know.
How does a reverse troll even?
Because apparently the same account posted up a fake Gotchard logo last year.
Oh, okay.
And some people bought it, and then they changed it up. So it's like, oh,
yeah.
Well.
I don't know what to believe anymore. I don't know. When do we get more Gotchard? Not Gotchard. When do we get more Gav news?
Generally it'll be with the summer film. We'll get the teaser of the costume. We'll hear the actor, but we won't know who the actor is until the press conference, which will come later. So really the big news is going to drop the night of that movie premiere.
All right. When is the summer film coming out? Let me just check the wiki.
Yeah.
Let's see. Movies 2024 summer film with Boom Boonja. 11 days from now. Holy shit.
Okay, so we don't have that long then. Literally 2 Wednesdays from now.
Sorry, July 26th. Oh. I'm dumb. Sorry.
Threw it off. Okay, yeah. A month and a half from now. A month and a half from now.
Which makes sense because the rider show will air in like late August, early September.
So that means that we'll get the teaser there probably like a couple days before. They'll probably show us a little bit of it.
Yeah.
Unless it has a really terrible leak like Gotchard did, where we got it. What was it, like 2 weeks ahead of time? We got that ugly photo of Gotchard doing the kick.
Yeah, I think that was 2 weeks. I'd have to go back and like go from like that's why I like my videos, because it's a good time frame of when stuff happened if I talked about it like of the day.
Yeah, so that's the only thing regarding
Hmm.
uh that aspect is that we'll probably get some sort of teaser, official teaser regarding
Mhm.
like Gavu, like a few days to a week beforehand, and
Mhm.
then from there, then
That's fine.
if you want to see more, then watch the summer movie so you can see him in
Mhm.
action and see what the gimmick's all about. And then after that, they'll announce the presser, and then we get all
Mhm.
that stuff. But for me, I've always been on the side, at least like the last 10 years, of tell me the production staff before I get hype.
Yeah,
Because
no, I can understand that.
there tends to be a lot of hype for new show in general,
Mhm.
but I always approach these things like with a lot of caution. It's a cautionary tale of things. Even though people tell me, no, you should just enjoy what's coming up next. I don't know if I'm
Mm.
gonna be committed to watching it for a year.
Yeah,
You know,
proceed
the
with
staff.
caution.
Yeah, yep. It's like I
Yeah.
gotta see what the cast is all about. I can't
Mhm.
overhype myself too early in, or else I'd be disappointed. Because that's the thing. I went into Godchart being mid on it, and guess what? Still mid. But then there's those folks that came in overtly hyped, and then they're currently in a much more of a slump.
Yeah, that would make sense.
While for King Odra, I would say I went into it negatively just because of the head writer being Takahashi's understudy,
Mhm.
and came out pleasantly surprised by what we got, because once again that first half was peak.
Yeah.
Second half, we can continue arguing about that to this day,
Yeah.
even with the
Mhm.
extended director's cut of that ending, but still nothing beats that first half of King Odra when you're looking at King Odra as a whole.
No, understandable, understandable. Uh, but even when King just started, I felt weird because Don Brothers has ended, and I was like, "Who are you new people?
Yeah.
Why is nothing real?"
All this green screen background. That's the thing. It's like I did meet
Mm.
some real life friends that I hadn't
Yeah.
seen in several years. And they were like, "Guess where I found you? On YouTube." And I was like,
So-
"Oh."
oh no, what YouTube video?
It's like you haven't seen me in 10 years, and then you find me on YouTube. Great. Um, no, but they were like, yeah, I couldn't get into the first few episodes of King Oger because of all the heavy green screen. I'm like, that's
Mhm.
understandable, but look past the green screen. Like Toku's never been like a visual showpiece when it comes to
Mhm.
like these effects, especially more recently since they have become so reliant on green screen anyway.
Yeah.
Um, but even then, it's just like the merits lie with its storytelling and its characters.
Mhm.
And that's where King Oger definitely is good. I mean, Sentai in general, normally if you have a bad cast, then it's not that great. While the way that Kamen Rider usually flows is
Mhm.
even if you have a bad cast, if the overarching narrative, like sometimes the villains will sell it, sometimes
Mhm.
the final bad guy will sell it, sometimes some of
Mhm.
the support characters will sell it, even if you
Mhm.
have a very plain Jane lead. So
Yeah.
still weird about the summer movie literally just being called Kamen Rider the Summer Movie
Yeah, I think it'll
2024.
get it. I think it'll probably get its like actual title like next month or getting closer to it.
Yeah, especially since we got the in the latest episode of Gacha, we got a little bit more of a teaser
Mm.
for Hotaro going through his punished arc and becoming Daybreak.
Oh, okay. Is
Which
that
I'm
in the
like, that seems a lot more interesting than the show right now. So it's like,
wait, is that the movie? Like or the show? Like he's gonna be
the,
Daybreak?
the the movie is like the Daybreak film. It's the Daybreak film that we've been talking
Oh,
about since like Daybreak left the show.
oh, okay. So that makes sense. Okay. So I feel like this is gonna be like a Daybreak Origins movie.
Yeah, I just don't know how the Boom Boomers are going to factor into things.
Yeah. I no, I thought they're getting their own separate movie. The Boom
I don't know.
Boomers.
Once again, since this is called like Kamen Rider Gotchard and Bakuagi Sentai Boom Boomger, like the way that the title card is done, it kind of seems like it
I think
could
that's what they.
be.
I think that's what they called most of them because I remember that's what the Don Brothers one was called, and the Gates one was called back in the day. It was called Gates, and it was called like Kamen Rider Gates and King Oja Summer Movie, if I remember correctly. And then
And I
they
don't
had
think
their
that
own separate titles later
I
down
just
the
don't
line.
remember the promotional period being this long with the tentative title. That's the thing.
Oh, okay.
Because I believe they did that for like the first couple of weeks, and then after that, they gave us the titles.
Mm.
But for here, like I feel like we've been like this movie comes out next month,
Yeah.
and we still don't know the title of it.
Which they need to do for all that marketing and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, and also the future Kajiki that we don't know. Saying I don't think that's future Kajiki, but people are telling me that's future Kajiki. It's in the trailer for the film and all that.
Okay.
All right. So anything chat wants us to talk about before we dip on out? I know it's only
Yeah.
been
Shortest
an
stream
hour and
ever.
a half,
Apart
but
from the
yeah,
earlier, apart
who
from the
knew that
earlier episodes.
the 69 got done quickly.
Yeah.
It came too quick.
Before we wrap things up, I will do the summon just in case Mark wants to join.
Mark said he was going to show up. He just said
Yeah.
the commute was bad, but he said it was going to be like 20 minutes bad, not like an hour and a half bad.
Yeah. Maybe he stopped for food.
He's probably eating right now as you say all that.
He
is eating a pickle as we speak.
Yeah. He is eating a pickle and looking at his blade collection. All right, that didn't summon him. I give up.
Well, he did say, okay, so reading the text again. I'll be running late tonight. I got transferred on Monday, and my commute without traffic is an hour, 20 minutes.
Okay. How bad is he lives in LA? I guess traffic
somewhere over there.
Somewhere over there. I don't want to dox the guy, but yeah, I guess traffic is bad there.
I mean, major cities, yeah, that's why I hate ever going to like Atlanta or anything like that because the traffic is hell. As soon as you see that, a 2-lane highway suddenly becomes a fucking 11-lane shit, and it's just like, oh no, this is why people die on here because they try going from, the leftmost lane all the way to the right in one shot.
Shit.
Yeah, almost every time I go to Atlanta, there's always like bodies on the ground. Like it's bad. Like that's how bad the traffic gets over there. That's why I'm like, you know what? Even though I drive, 3.5 hours, sometimes 4 hours one way for my job, a lot of the times, it's usually just country roads. So it's not so bad, except with my cell signal dies and then I'm stuck in my thoughts for like 20, 30 minutes. Then those are the worst times.
Those are the worst times. Now I'm on the train every day to work, so I just get the look outside the window and I say, you're stuck on traffic on the highway.
What's a train? We don't have those here in America.
Oh, yeah.
We only ride cars, trucks, and guns in America. It's the American way. You shoot a bullet, you get on that bullet, and you ride it all the way to the finish line.
And drones.
We don't do those anymore. We only send those overseas.
Okay.
Only way to fly, baby. Only way to fly is on a drone.
But Aroni Henshin did say something about the comics. I've got nothing to say about the comics right now. It's kind of dry. I mean, there's collections coming out. One of the writers for one of the short stories messaged me on Instagram saying that, like, if I buy the collection, one of his stories is in the comic, and he did say, good luck with whatever you do next after the comic ends, because he says he feels like it's not over yet, or there'll probably be more to talk about on the way. I think that's how they worded it, but yeah. But they said I should check out that story because it's a Matt story in the comics. So I'll definitely pick up that hardcover of Mighty Morphin / Power Rangers 2 when it goes on special. But I've just been reading other comics. I've been reading like Batman, and I've been reading the Ultimate issues like Ultimate X-Men, Ultimate Spider-Man, the Ultimate Avengers.
Now hear me out, because I just got a crazy idea.
Yes.
What if they make a comic adaptation of the Power Rangers Rita's Rewind video game, and they call it Power Rangers, the game, the comic? kind of like the Hannah Montana, the movie, the game from back in the day, where it was just like, wait, Hannah Montana, the movie, the game. That's
Yeah.
what you guys are calling it. Okay. Like I said, Power Rangers, the game, the comic. And then they adapt that into a
Yeah.
movie. The game, the comic, the movie.
Megadon says, can I talk about Go-Go Loser Ranger? Go-Go Loser Ranger is so good right now. Like, I stopped reading the manga, so now I'm going in blind, and I'm really freaking enjoying it. Like, Go-Go Loser Ranger is, like, a lot of fun for me right now. Like, this first core felt like a slow burn, but now we're getting into the really cool stuff. Oh, what's going on?
I still
Like,
haven't read the comics, and I've only seen that one episode, the first episode. That's it.
oh, yeah, you were there for that, I
Yep.
think.
Yeah, I was there when Geekdom was streaming it on his Discord.
No, I think I was streaming it for Geekdoms.
Oh yeah, because you wanted to show it over there.
Yeah, and then I think we watched Jetman after.
We did watch Jetman after.
I don't think they've watched a lot of Jetman because that was meant to be something that I'd be involved with, but I'm back at work 5 days a week. But yeah, Go-Go Loser Ranger a lot of fun. Kaiju number 8 a lot of fun. If they made a Kamen Rider comic, what Kamen Rider would you pick? Not 01, that's for sure.
You got to go with the tried and true Saban's Masked Rider.
Yeah.
Just bring him back. Do a grizzled Dex 30 years later.
It sucks because, like, they don't have the rights to use, like, Black RX because that's Kamen Rider and, like, other toy stuff in the comics, but they can use the characters they created, like King Lexion in the comics here and there that show up. But, like, no Dex. Like, the planet Edenoi will make an appearance, but, like, no Kamen, like, no Master Rider shows up in the comics. But if I could choose any Rider series, they're gonna maybe get a comic series. They said choose X-Aid. Maybe, like, X-Aid would be good. Maybe. Maybe Saber, because, story about a book about stories. Maybe Gotchard and make it good.
Actually, I would say Geats probably lends itself great to the comic format, especially since they could do issue runs of the different games that they would be running during the BGP.
That would work really well as well, because, like, comic arcs go for 6 months, so you could do, like, a 6-month story arc of the game.
Yeah, so I would say that would be a pretty good show to adapt if you do it right, and then you just play up. Just don't do a disaster arc again. Just still have battle scars from that one right there, but definitely just play up different game aspects that they could throw in there. Of course, you have your origin comic line to introduce people to the concept of what the Geats, like the DGP, is. It doesn't even have to be Geats himself that's in there, or like Ace. You can just have a writer that's within that mold, because Geats itself lent itself so much to OC creativity for writership that they literally could make their own writer to work within the Geats universe.
And that's what I also liked a little bit about the Punk Jack special, where it wasn't like Geats and that. It was random smos getting involved in the game.
Yeah, it could literally be the DGP that ends up with Keiwa's parents actually getting done in. Like, all that could still end up working, and they don't have to pull a whole Kamen Rider Ragnarok of it all. So
yeah.
So those would be my suggestions if they were to adapt or make their own comic line. With just Geats lends itself so well to that. Anything that's got like what if scenarios or enough backstory with the concept being there, like Ryuki would be another one. Ryuki's got a lot of what if scenarios that could play out, so they could do a pretty good adaptation of that. But once again, Dragon Knight, I don't know how Adness Entertainment still if it has any rights towards Ryuki in general in the West or not.
I doubt it,
because it's been like 15 years now, right?
Yeah, nearly 20-ish years. I'm trying to think what else would be. Dragon, no, maybe like not Rider, but maybe they can do like a Garo comic, maybe because Garo nearly hit the West.
It did. CW almost had it. Oh, Adness apparently completely shut down in 2021.
Oh, okay.
So it forfeited all of its business activities, along with its website, social media accounts. So it's all gone.
Dang. It sucks that like I want to watch Dragon Knight, but I think the only way I have to watch it is be a ticket machine guy.
Yeah, because if Adness is completely gone, then yeah, distribution is going to be
Yeah.
very hard to come by. So once again, the proper goodness of physical media, because anyone who actually bought those DVDs back in the day, guess what? You're holding on to something that is hard to attain by regular folks.
Yeah. I think the only way they get physical media of Dragon Knight is those whatever DVD releases they did back in the day for the US or Japan. Because I know that
Japan's
Japan.
got them, and I know that they're crazy expensive because I kept telling folks for the Twitch live streams, if we ever watch Kamen Rider Dragon Knight, I want to watch the Japanese dub of it.
Oh, okay.
And it does exist. It is a real thing, and you can find the DVDs online secondhand, but they are like $50 a pop.
Really, for like 5 episodes, like 2
Yes.
episodes, probably Japan, because that's Japan for you.
So yeah, I would have to shell out well over like 300 $400 just to get those
I
DVDs
think,
to be able to
yeah.
stream that.
No, I think if you're like if you're in a book off in Japan, which if you've been to book off, like if you know what book off in Japan, it's just like a very cheap secondhand store. Cheap depending on what you're looking for, but might probably find them there, like reasonably priced. Maybe I'm not sure.
I'll probably see if I can hit up Talk and be like, hey, if you find these, let me know. I want
I
them.
won't tell you. I won't tell you how much they're worth, but please send them to me.
Yes, if you find them, let me
I
know.
will give.
I want them.
I will give you a reasonable price. Just don't look up the resale value of them.
Hashtag Team Writer. God. Yes, Team Common Writer. RIP as well. All of these Western distributions for Common Writer are just like gone.
Wait, is Team Rider gone, or are they just not doing anything anymore?
They're essentially defunct now.
Okay.
Like it's not a thing. Ever since like Bandai and Toei kind of pulled the back curtain when it comes to distributing a lot of the toys and stuff in the West. It's because I'm like a few years back, you could buy Rider toys at GameStop here in the US, and that was thanks to Team Kamen Rider. But you can't anymore because Team Kamen Rider is not doing shit. And changing of the guard they had there kind of led to their ultimate demise.
Yeah, I heard about that. They had a good run at the start, I will say that. Like when they had that big live stream for Heisei Generations Forever. But they had a good run. Shout's fucked, I feel like, when it comes to Sentai, because I feel like Hasbro is holding them hostage.
No news on the Garo side of things from what I've seen, so nothing on that front. Unless something just dropped without me knowing and someone just hasn't said shit. Nope. Nothing.
Nope.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so nothing new on the Garo front, so.
No.
Any Ultra news? I mean, Ark's coming out.
Soon. When is it coming out?
It's got to be soon, right? Like we had that trailer we were looking at last week. It looks like it will come out. No idea.
Okay. They even
July 6th is what Roroni says.
The dub cast looks pretty good. You've got Tony Oliver in there as Hiroshi Ban and Brandon McInnes is in there. I like his stuff. Michael Selswood's in there, yeah. Paul Castro Jr., yeah, pretty good dub cast. I feel like Johnny being in the Blaze Eye dub sold it for me.
I have no idea who any of these people are. I'm looking at them now, the dub cast.
I know some of them, like some of their works I'm aware of. Because it's not your Funimation Crunchyroll people. I think it's mostly LA talent or whoever they get in house that they can do for it. Radapox. No one here on this has seen the Ultraman Rising movie yet.
No,
I might watch it today.
Like I said, if Mark randomly shows up, he's probably going to show up and just say, "I saw
it, and
Yep.
it
was peak."
Yeah, do you think he'll say it's peak, or do you think he'll say it's mid, or the worst thing he's ever seen?
I don't know. He's a very big Ultra stan, so I'm thinking he might say it's peak.
Okay, that sounds like Mark.
That's where my bet would be. If I was a betting man, and I am, I would say peak for 200. Alex,
Yeah,
go ahead, show it on the board.
I think he will say it was peak, but I feel like because it's like family friendly and lighthearted, I feel like he'll say it's mid.
No, he can properly connect with the audience that it's intended for and that type of thing. Because the thing is like sometimes I can try and disconnect from what I like and see like
that's true.
You know, the audience that it's going to try and cater to.
Okay. I feel like I want to change my bet. I feel like he'll say it's peak probably.
It just depends whether or not I can tolerate it for like a whole time slot or not. But hey, that's a whole different story. People are trying to summon Mark. You're failing.
You're failing.
The fact that we actually managed to get to, almost 2 hours on here on a very slow news week is a miracle. But then again, last week we did go on for 4 hours. So
yeah, well, that was technical errors.
Technical errors because it wasn't expecting us to go on for 4 hours, to the point that Cloudy literally dipped out as soon as the stream ended, y'all. Usually when the stream ends, like we stick around and like shoot the bullshit
the bullshit.
Cloudy dipped while the credits were playing. He was just like deuces.
Deuces, yeah.
Didn't even say shit. He just dipped and we're like, oh, okay. Cloudy just gonna be that way. And that's why he's not invited to the cookout.
Cody Rhodes is invited to the cookout.
He's just gonna he's just gonna make himself a plate and leave. He's that type of guy. He's not even gonna bring anything to the cookout.
No.
Nah.
He's like, oh, I thought about bringing something. Oh, I left it at home.
Yep. But you see, I'm sick always, all the time.
My schedule
so I'm just gonna
busy.
get me a couple of these ribs, some of these burgers. Yeah, I'll get the mac and cheese too, and then leave.
It's like when like that early episode of The Simpsons where like Homer crashes Ned's cookout and he just grabs like a plate and sits in the corner against the tree.
Hey, sometimes it'd be like that. Yeah. Tokusatsu casually playing American shows. I did see that. Apparently, they were like advertising some Jackie Chan films and shit as well.
Yeah, I think. And is it Tokusatsu or Shout Factory in general? Because Shout Factory in general has the rights to like some interesting stuff.
Well, Tokusatsu was the one that was advertising it specifically.
Oh.
So I was a little confused. I was like, man, you guys are really taking the Toku term very broadly, aren't you? Okay, they have what reboot? What reboot do they have? High Tide. I need to know. This is very important. Do they have the CG one or the shitty Netflix one from like a couple years back? Because we don't talk about that shitty Netflix one. Oh, the OG one with Bob and Enzo. Those were good.
Okay.
I wouldn't call them Toku, but still, those were good.
Yeah. They've been streaming Alf on. They've been streaming Alf on the Shout Factory YouTube, but they'll do like Alf in Japanese. So there will be like non-stop Alf in like different languages.
Well, you know what? That's gonna kill the video that Mark's been working on for 3 years about saying that Alf was Toku, because now you got Tokusatsu properly streaming it, so he can't even make the video anymore. He's
Yeah.
been dying laughing making that video for 2.5 years now, and he can't even do it now because Shout Factor essentially said, "Well, it is Toku. Here it is. We're showing it here." And it's like, damn. What they need to add on there is that the sitcom Dinosaurs from back in the 90s, the
That's
Jim
on
Henson
Disney
one.
Plus. That's on Disney Plus.
Is it?
Yes.
Ah, shit. I haven't checked out Disney Plus in ages.
No. When that dropped from Disney Plus, I watched I didn't watch all of it, but I binged as much as I could of it. Because I only watched the first 2 episodes because I had that on VHS growing up, and then I watched more of it. And I was like, I was missing it. I love this show. It has a dark ending. Yeah, I've seen the
well,
ending.
obviously it's dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Do you expect a good end for dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Nah.
No, especially with this week's of Boom Boom Show. Yeah. I mean, have you seen Land Before Time? Have you seen the other Disney's dinosaur movie?
Look, my opening bit, I was hovering between 3 different opening bits before the one that I actually picked for my review.
Batman v. I had no idea what that was from because I have not seen Batman
yeah. Literally, I got the idea for that one in particular while I was doing the Superhero Time live stream on Sunday. I was seeing all the destruction, and I was like, "Oh, the opening scenes for Batman v Superman. That's it. That's gotta be it." And I was surprised neither Toei nor Warner Brothers hit me up for that copyright. So I was like, "Yes, first draft got through. No edits had to be made."
Do you think they couldn't figure it out because you were you green screened most of what?
Because I mismatched the footage together.
Yeah, they couldn't tell what's what.
Yeah, so they got confused. Yeah, you always want to confuse the copyrights going on.
Yeah.
Because the first one I was going to do was Jurassic Park. The scene when the kids are in the Jeep and the T-Rex eye shows up and then it busts the glass down.
Yeah.
I was going to do that with Boom Boom Robo Monster. And I did do some footage for that, but then once I got the idea, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna scrap this. I know I already sunk 3 hours into this, but no, I got a better idea.
Yeah, because I had no idea what that opening was, but until I realized, oh, it's Batman v Superman.
Yep. And then the next one was going to be something dinosaurs related, but I couldn't find I dug through. I acquired several episodes. Now that I know that it was on Disney Plus, I'm like, shit, I could have just gotten some good rips from D Plus. But I instead acquired several episodes and just ended up watching 4 episodes, just trying to find some footage that I could end up using for it. But I did what I could.
Yeah.
And ended up with Batman versus Superman instead. I was originally gonna make a scene where as well, because usually Waldeno has me killed by something. So as opposed to the T-Rex, it was going to be a Batman versus Superman reference, and it was going to be Batman. Ben Affleck's Batman. And I'm going to be like, my mother's name is not Martha. But I was like, no, I can't do that. That might be too far. I'm going to die editing this shit if I try doing that. So no. But that's a little bit of insight into my editing process in terms of what I was thinking of doing for different bits before I was like, I can't commit to the whole bit. Sometimes I got to commit to the bit. Sometimes I can't. How the fuck does Waldeno? He knows people, man. He travels through time. I don't know half the shit he knows. He knows a lot. How he pulled out that gun. Well, I know how he pulled out that gun. It's literally at the end of my Boom Boomger 1 review. He killed Lightspeed Hibiki, took his gun. He's got gun form. And he's apparently so strong that he can make VR Blazar actually speak. I guess that shows that Lightspeed Hibiki was just a weak user for VR Blazar. So yeah, all right. Killed some time. Mark's not showing up. He's probably either still stuck in traffic, really enjoying a pickle right now, or he's watching Blade.
Yeah, or admiring his Blade collection while watching Blade.
Could be.
Mhm.
Just out there, just looking through it all. So,
Yeah.
All right. So, any last second things from the chat? Anything? I'm actually surprised we've had a concurrent viewer count of over 50 the entire stream, which I'm like, what? Because last week was anywhere in the 30s to the 50s and varied. So,
yeah, it dipped.
Yep.
Here and there.
Watch Ninjago. I ain't got time for that. We got a Nintendo Direct next week, maybe.
Yeah. And Dinosaurs are watching that. It's on Disney Plus.
Yes. Watch Dinosaurs on Disney Plus. Someone has something to say. What do you have to say? Kiva is better than Blade.
Well, Mark's not here to defend that, so I'd say it's true.
I would say that I enjoyed Kiva more than Blade up to a point. Blade had the better ending than Kiva. I will say that. Blade has one of the best endings in Kamen Rider. But Kiva is indeed really, really good. Look, Heisei 1 in general, even when you throw Deno in there, fuck Deno, and Decade, man, fuck Decade. But even if you throw in our lower hitters of Heisei 1, even Hibiki up in that bitch, I still think it's better than Heisei 2. Just saying. Just hits different. Hit more like dramas than anything. Ninjago is better than Hero Fight, but is it better than Bionicle though? Because Bionicle was like the gateway drug. That was the edgy shit of the 2000s.
Those commercials.
Oh man, those commercials, like what sold me they had the hypest commercials for Bionicles, just saying.
I know.
All right. So let's end this before Mark actually does end up showing up. Because watch him show up like literally as we're like ending it.
And we'll be here for another 2 hours.
It could be because it's like we got to catch him up to speed. Yeah. But there's like a 2% chance that's actually going to happen, just like 2% milk. Yeah. So Ash, what you got to promote?
I've got my latest video I've got to promote, which it's doing all right so far. That is all Mighty Morphin Green Rangers, where I talked about every character that was a Green Ranger, or Mighty Morphin Green Ranger, and it's being passed around a lot, so it's doing decently. It hasn't hit 1,000 yet, sadly, so it's having a slow growth, but it's building up there. But I've got that. No comics this week, because comics are on a bit of a break until, like, I don't think the next Boom Studios issue is not out until, like, let me see. Let me bring up my calendar. Fuck. Let's see. June, yeah. So June 26th. So we got a while until the next comic. But solicitations will probably be out soon. I'll keep an eye on the Hasbro deals. I feel like I need to make a video saying, does Hasbro hate Power Rangers or something?
I think this branch of Hasbro currently just didn't know what to do with Power Rangers. That's the thing. It's like, once again, old CEO had a plan. New CEO had no plan. He's like, the fuck is this shit?
Yeah. What is this Japanese stuff? Yeah. But I feel like it's been talked to death about, and I don't know. I'll probably just play Baldur's Gate 3 or maybe something else on PC. Play Yakuza 5. Maybe. Need to finish that.
Well, I mean, we do have that Yakuza live action show to look forward to. So
We've Kamen Rider Drive as the main. I want to find out who's going to be Majima, like.
Because I don't think they used any like real models for a lot of those characters.
No. There is an old live action Yakuza film from back in the day they made in Japan, which is like loosely tells the first game, but this one I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with.
But hey, content is content, so I'm excited.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got 2 things to promote. First off, of course, Rogue Energy. One of the things that recently just got made to my attention regarding Rogue Energy is that if you are an Amazon Prime subscriber and you check out on Rogue Energy, even using my promo code, you now qualify for free shipping on there. I know shipping has been something that's been killing it for some folks because shipping is ludicrous on some of the stuff for Rogue Energy. But if you have Amazon Prime, it still stacks with the promo code ZEO at checkout. So you still get your % off and you get free shipping now if you are a Prime user. So I'm actually going to end up utilizing that myself because of the free shipping. And then the second thing is, well, Toku Rewind tomorrow is actually going to be movie night because I'm trying to save folks before the hellstorm that is Big Bad Beetleborgs and Power Rangers Samurai. So the movie that I will be playing is actually the 2010 live action Battleship Yamato film.
Oh, okay.
So I recently watched this like 2 weeks ago, and I was not expecting to get like the thing is I love the original Battleship Yamato and even like the anime that they made like 15 years ago. And the live action carries on that spirit. Sure, there is some changes to some character dynamics, but they had to do what they had to do because of the runtime for it. And I don't blame them for it. There are some things that are sped up a little bit, but we'll get to it once we're actually watching it. But overall, it left me a little bit of an emotional wreck by the end of the film. I was like damn near crying at the end of that film. So it is definitely a journey. So I will be playing that.
I think that movie came out at the same time as like Gantz live action, so in 2010. But yeah, that looks
the film
like
is over 2 hours long. So even then, if there's anything else that I can figure out that might be like an hour long, I might squeeze that in at the end. But otherwise, that's the main agenda for tomorrow's Toku Rewind. Just before we get to the madness of Big Bad Beetleborgs and Samurai. So. So yeah, just Big Bad Beetleborgs, not metallics. Nah, I ain't fucking with that shit. Nope. So yes, that is it. Outside of that, that's all we got.
All right.
We will catch you all next week as we enter the 70s for TokuTonic. So this has been TokuTonic 69.
Wow, nice. Wow.
And we're out of here. Bye.
Bye.
よっ日本一